Hi there. I was just reviewing my last recording and thinking about what I wanted to say next, which is really about uncomfortable communication, but it goes more into uncomfortable leadership. And there's two different realities happening when it came to my experiences with pediatric healthcare. One is the dynamic and wonderful agenda of the health services to support children, to nurture children, to make sure that areas of health are taken care of. And then there was me, the exhausted parent, on 24/7, navigating that care map, that reality of life. And, one of the things that was always a challenge was the slow loss of things that were important to me, being able to work outside the home, eventually being able to take recycling down to the recycle box. It just wasn't feasible to do that anymore. But my value as a socially contributing person was challenged by that. Being able to show up and help a health organization at a table um, was a value system for me also, to help other families, to be a spokesperson, or just even to share my story. Very important, and a desire that's driven to still be seen in the society. I don't want to drop off the earth and be hidden and invisible. I wanted to contribute, and but I'm also a very observational person, and I understood, the difference between, there's a lot of inequity, a lot of difference between sitting down at a table with professionals and sitting down at a table with other parents. And part of that is getting it and understanding, but the other part is about really deep listening, and deep listening through some very painful stories. And the catch is, the painful stories are a huge piece of reality that need to be acknowledged. And if that means that as a professional, you are moved to tears, you're moved to tears. If I am moved to tears as the medical mom, then I am moved to tears. But both of our tears are not about changing how we are going to go forward. They are about expressing the stress of our bodies. And they are about creating a connection. I think one of the difficult things is allowing tears to flow and be sitting in the discomfort of that. Or conversely, if I am getting loud and I'm going on about something because I'm angry, that is valid. It's about being human in a very tragic situation. I'm drowning. I'm a medical mom drowning, and I'm showing up to give you what I've got because I really want to change something for all the other medical moms and myself, so we're not drowning. As professionals, I know, you know, that change is so slow, and sometimes it's impossible, and sometimes you're not going to be able to meet the expectations that we have. And it's really uncomfortable to say so, but it needs to be said. It needs to be quantified to places that you can do something with in what might come later. And I think the other thing too is, checking in. How are you feeling today? Do you feel up to looking at this? Is an important question. Is there anything you need to get off your chest before we start? Important question. If you're the parent sitting in the room, say, I need a minute to talk about how my day's been, because that's the discrepancy. Isolated person, 24/7, working really hard and wanting to show up. Professionals working really hard, wanting to show up, paid, have resources, you know, can leave, have flexibility in their lives. Might not be easy for sure, but it is nothing compared to the isolation. So when you're coming to a table and you have, you know, the professional and the medical mom or parent, it's so important to sit in uncomfortable moments, because that's where the connection, that's where we sort of have human things. I don't need stories from a professional, let's be really clear, but there has to be moments to pause and acknowledge the pain that does exist. That just has to be part of moving forward, I think. And that's an uncomfortable leadership piece. A lot of people are uncomfortable with that. I hope that you get more comfortable with that. You know, there's a lot of work from Stephen Covey that talks about leadership, and Seth Godin talks about uncomfortable leadership. These are, and I guess really I am just talking about how to make human connections as we bridge, you know, the valuable expertise of a medical parent into the development of a program. How can you bridge those things so that we're working in collaboration, not at different places and different perspectives? You want to try to find space to allow the unity and the decompression so somebody can show up. I know it's a bit of a ramble, but I think it's an important piece of information. And I think that, you know, if you're not getting the space in a meeting, for any parent out there, ask for it. Say, I need some space in this meeting. Well, that's it for now. Next ramble coming up soon.